I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and I'm here today to show you Fishman's brand new Loudbox Micro amplifier. Fishman, of course, already has a sizable line of Loudbox amplifiers that meet a lot of different needs, but this new micro model kind of extends the line into what some people might refer to as a desktop amp, even though I would think of this as much more than that. It's got a surprising amount of power in this little tiny package that I had to elevate here on a shipping box so you could see it a little bit better, because it is really quite small and it would indeed fit on a desk if you're so inclined to use it that way. Let me talk a little bit more about what the amp offers. So the Loudbox Micro has 40 watts of power, goes through a 5¼ inch speaker, as well as a 0.8 inch soft dome tweeter. So the same kind of full range reproduction that we're used to with other Fishman Loudbox amps. It's a 2-channel design, 1/4 inch input, 1 XLR input, so you could run a guitar and a microphone through there. One thing I really like about it is that Fishman included an XLR output. So with this small size, with this, you can almost think of this as a DI box with a speaker in it. I think it's got plenty of power to be used as a stage monitor in a lot of situations. I've used the Fishman Loudbox Mini for many gigs over the years, both the standard version and the Mini Charge, and you've probably seen us use both of these here in the Peghead Nation studio for many of our gear demos. And there are many times when I, especially if I'm using the amp as a monitor on stage, I barely have it turned up. And so this little Loudbox Micro would offer plenty of power to be used as a stage monitor, and you could literally put this into your roller suitcase to take to the gig. Very light, it only weighs 10 pounds, compact dimensions. So I really think it goes far beyond just being sort of a desktop amp or a practice amp. It's got some real professional applications. Now, in terms of the amp's features, you can see I'm plugged into the 1/4 inch input here. I'm going to take the plug out. It's got a 1/4 inch input. It's got the XLR input. The guitar channel, the instrument channel, has controls for gain, low, mid, high, and reverb, and it has a built-in chorus effect as well. I'll cycle back and show you what that sounds like. And the XLR mic channel has gain, low, high, and reverb controls. Also on the front panel, there's a master volume to control the overall output. There's a phase switch, and of course the power button. If we look at the back of the amp, we have the XLR output, the DI output that I already mentioned. There is a headphone jack, mini jack, and there's also an auxiliary input mini jack. So if you want to play something from another source, for example, backup tracks through the amp, you can do it with the aux input, which effectively gives you a 3rd channel. The amp is powered by a power adapter with the input right here on the left, and features the overall kind of design and look that you might be familiar with from other Fishman Loudbox amps. And I also think that it really ties well into the sonic picture of other Fishman Loudbox amps. It has the full range sound, the sound that I'm used to from the Loudbox Minis that I've used extensively. And so I really think that if you don't need the power that the Loudbox Minis or larger amps have, this is a very attractive option. And of course, it is also more affordable than even the Loudbox Mini. So I said I would show you the chorus on the amp, which I'll do in a moment, as well as the different reverb settings. And of course, I'll give you a taste of what the EQ on the guitar channel also sounds like. I should also say that I'm using a Martin SC-10E to show you the amp here, and that of course has Fishman electronics built in. There's an under-saddle pickup and a preamp in the guitar, so I'm going directly into the amp without using an external preamp or any kind of effects. So right now I have all the controls on the amp set completely flat. And I should say that I have a low D here. I'm tuned to drop D tuning. And this little amp really reproduces that lowered string with no problems. If I want to boost the bass a bit, really get quite a bit of low end here. course, I can also cut. The mid control is also very effective, as it is in all Fishman products. And I often find that cutting the mids just a little bit can be conducive to a more natural sound, depending on the type of pickup that you have in your instrument. And of course, the high can either be used to add a little bit of sizzle to your sound, or sort of tame the high end there. So before, I had the mids cut just a little tiny bit, the highs were as it was, and I had the bass boosted like a little tiny bit. Which I find is an impressive sound for just a stock guitar plugged straight into the amp, and with really no further processing. So the chorus, right now it's off, basically goes through varying stages of it. Right now I have it at about mid-level here. If I really want to crank it up, or if I just wanted to add a little tiny subtle bit of it. Similar with the reverb, I've had just a little touch of it. If I really wanted to have a lot of reverb, just for demonstration purposes, let me crank it all the way up. That's a lot of reverb. That's probably more than you would use. But you never know, so I find that right here at about 10 or 11 o'clock, that's kind of a nice amount for the way I was just playing. So overall, I think the Loudbox Micro is a fantastic addition to Fishman's lineup of Loudbox amps. Definitely enough power for small gigs or monitoring situations. Very compact, easy to carry, lightweight. And if you do want to use it mostly at home for practicing, it is small enough to fit on your desk or into a shelf, or whichever small space you might have for it. And it would just be a lot of fun to play through in that setting as well. I think having the two channels, having the DI box output, features like the phase control, really give it the features that that you would want if you're performing with it as well. So it's you can either look at it as a practice amp that has room to grow, or just really a very handy compact solution for the professional player who just needs a little bit of a boost, and may also need to travel with the amp, and have the compact dimensions be a major feature of this. So that's the Fishman Loudbox Micro. Definitely check it out. They should be showing up at dealers anytime now, and it's just a wonderful new product in the Fishman amplification range. So my name is Teja Gerken. I hope you've enjoyed this demo of the Fishman Loudbox Micro. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please come over to pegheadnation.com for our full range of instrument lessons, not just for guitar, but for many stringed instruments, as well, of course, as our gear demos. So we hope to see you soon, and play out a little bit more and kind of show you what the sound with the effects of the amp is like.